What are you doing now, Stevie? Are
But
you
yeah, with
yeah.
Idol, we've this is the second year we've done a residency at the House of Blues
Yes.
in Las Vegas.
Hmm.
We start that back up in October. You know, it's given us an opportunity to kind of dig deeper into our catalog because we do 3 shows a week, and a lot of times it's the same people that'll fly out for all three.
Right, right.
So, you know, we made a decision to like go into the back catalog, maybe revamp some of the older tunes, more obscure things. And so this is we did that in October,
You
and
come
then
back
as I
out?
mentioned, yeah, we start back up in October with that, and then I do Kings of Chaos with Matt Sarm, and we just finished like 2 weeks ago. We did a show, and that's a roving cast of characters. I mean,
Right. That's gotta
it's
be
and
fun with
it's
Xander. Yeah,
incredible. I
I've
mean,
seen
you
some of
know.
the lineups. Yeah, and Carlos, who's one of my best friends, it has a residency there at House of
Right,
Blues.
that's right.
Yeah.
We kind of leapfrog with him, and I keep saying to my wife, we're going to stay 1 week so we can go see Carlos. But I got to tell you a funny thing. My mom, bless her, is 93 years old, right? I get a call from
Oh
her,
wow.
and she says to me, "Can you get me tickets to see Carlos Santana?" She lives in Florida. And I went, "Mom, I will go to the ends of the earth to get you tickets at
Hmm.
93 years old." She
That's
don't even care that you know. Of course, she'll come to my show, but you know, she still goes to rock shows,
that's
and to
crazy.
her is, you know, Carlos Santana is one of those guys that, you know, it's like she's got to see him, you know.
Did she ever
So that's how,
did she get
yeah,
there?
that's
Did she go?
it's coming up. The show's in about a month,
Where?
so
Where?
we're getting there. It's somewhere in Florida, not Miami. She lives in Fort Lauderdale, so somewhere
Well, let
near
me
Fort
know. I
Lauderdale.
mean, if I can help you, because Cindy Blackman Santana used to play with me for 2 years in my band American Horse Trio.
Right,
So,
and
so
that's his wife now, right?
yes, yes. So me,
Okay, I might hit you up for this.
if I can help you, I will, man. I just jammed
Oh
with
man.
Carlos last month here in Phoenix at
I
Action
saw
Pavilion.
something. I saw
Yeah.
something online. I was very happy for you, man.
Yeah, he's
You
my
know.
bro though, man. And whenever he's around, like I go to Vegas, I go to see him. He always calls me up, and the beauty of playing with Carlos is he's so gracious, man. And it's and
Right.
and,
The
and
good guys are. The
right,
good
the
guys.
good guys are, and
Right.
it's
Yeah.
respect for me. So I'm not
Hmm.
trying to shred or step on anybody's toes. You don't have to. He
Yeah.
gives you your space, then he pushes you to the front of the stage, and he just lets you do your thing. It's
Right.
just so awesome. But now
Yeah.
tell me this, man, because this is my moments with you on the show, and a lot of the guys that you've played with, I've had some like indirect or direct contact with. For instance, Robert Palmer. Now dig this, Steve. Tony Thompson, okay, was the
Right.
drummer in the band with me. And you remember Jean Beauvoir, the black guy with the white mohawk?
Sure.
Yes, and the
Sure. Yeah.
Plasmatics. And so we
Sure.
had that band, Crown of Thorns, on Interscope. When you were doing the Palmer stuff, was Tony playing drums with him, or
No,
or
it
after
was.
he
This was.
passed, or before?
Yeah. No, this was before.
Yeah.
This was a guy named Donnie Wynn, who was actually the guy on Addicted to Love, because it was Eddie Martinez and Donnie
Mm-hmm.
Wynn was the drummer. Now Robert was the very first rock star I ever met before Billy Idol. I was in a band that was signed to Island Records, and we went down Bahamas to
I love it.
record
I love it.
a
Compass Point
record.
Resort, baby. Yes,
Right,
yes. I love that
and
place.
the record was never released. But Robert Palmer lived across the street from the studio, and he walked into the studio, and he said, "Oh, who's the guitar?" You know, listening to playback. Who's
Right.
the guitar player? And I kind of,
Uh huh.
"Oh, that would be me, sir." and uh, and he said, "Oh, well, you know, Robert Palmer." I knew who he was. This was before Addicted to Love. This is like after Sally Through the Alley and all
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff, right? So he invited me over to his place to help with demos. I spent an afternoon with him, and we became friends. And then he would come to New York. You know, this is still before Billy Idol. He'd come to New
Uh
York,
huh.
and I'd take him guitar shopping. I had just gotten a Hamer endorsement, so I turned him on to Hamer guitars.
Right, right.
And and then probably about 6 months later, I got the gig with Billy Idol. And I called Robert and I said, "Hey, you ever hear of Billy Idol?" "Oh, yeah," you know, and I said, "Oh, I'm playing guitar for him now." We stayed friends, and while they were doing Power Station,
Yes.
he was in New York, and I became friends with Andy and John Taylor,
Right.
and so we were all, we got in a lot of trouble together.
Yeah, man. Those were the days. Those were the days, man.
Yeah,
But you know what? I got a good story for you. This is so awesome. So I had just met you. I can't remember. We were in LA somewhere, and I remember I was hanging out with Vanity. Remember? And I brought her to see Billy Idol. You guys, because she loved Billy
I
Idol. And she,
remember this.
remember
I
that stuff,
remember this.
right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and Billy thought I was going out with her at the time, but I wasn't. She, we were just friends then. And Billy was like,
Right.
remember
Right.
freaking out in the bed? Oh my God, it's Vanity. It's Vanity. I've got, I've got to love her. That whole thing. But what was happening to me, man, that whole show is when I think this was the show when you had that Jackson that glowed in the dark. I think it was one of the
Yes.
first ones. Remember that, Steve?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
I had Jackson make me one of those man just like I said. I want one just like Steve Stevens, man. It glows in the dark. I was playing in Shalimar then. And I said, I want one of those guitars just like Steve's. And they go, well, that was kind of a one-off for Steve because it was like it glowed in the dark.
Yeah.
What year was that? That was 80s, right?
This would have been
Yeah.
87.
Yes.
87, maybe 80. Oh, no. Could have been earlier. Possibly 85, 86.
But it was
Could
right.
have been.
It was right in
Yeah.
there because I was like, that's when you came up to me. We started laughing. And this was the biggest compliment you gave me. Like you were like, bro, when you broke through the window on your Dancing in the Sheets video, man, what a rock star move.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Because I was I always loved the rock guitar, but, there was a lot of people just making rock records and
Mm-hmm.
all this, but I've loved the people like yourself
Oh man.
and Eddie Martinez,
Oh yeah.
putting the rock guitar with Run DMC and all the
Yes.
little
Yes.
rock box. And I loved the guys who were taking it out of the context of rock and
Right.
roll
Right. Right.
because that's what makes guitar a bigger thing, because then you reach people that ordinarily wouldn't really care about guitar.